Hi there, good people. Good evening from Dhaka, Bangladesh. It's around approaching towards midnight, so almost morning, early morning. After a long time, I actually, I told you my health update and everything yesterday, day before, and I was not well for 2 months, almost 2 months I was out with sickness. So for the first time after a long time, I walked. Very nice weather. It's still hot and humid in Bangladesh, but very breezy. So I did walk off about 10,000 something steps. I came back home. I just crashed literally. It was so tiring, but it was good experience. I like sweated a lot and it was good. It felt good. So today I woke up. I'm like, I had dinner. I'll perhaps make coffee, feeling better and refreshed. So I'm gonna do 2 extra videos for you. Bonus. This is the second episode, and this fragrance, as you can tell, this is a fragrance I did. The original of this one, which was called Higher by Dior. That was a white limited time bottle, but I don't have that anymore. But I have this one, Dior Higher Energy. Okay, this one is in the green box, and this I think is still available in Dior website, but these are more newer batches. I think I didn't check the batch, so I have a partial here. I bought it from one of the brothers in community, and I'm ready to do initial impression. Okay, so Dior, as you know, let me just give you a few words before I start the review. Dior is one of the top brands of designer side. Dior and Chanel are regarded as two of the best, highest class of designer fragrances. I would say at this current moment, a lot of other brands actually are giving them good competition, and they're making a lot more fragrances. Like whereas Dior and Chanel are doing nothing for designers at this current moment. Apart from Dior is making just Sauvage, Elixir, this and that. It's just good for perhaps the crowd of Sauvage, but not really good for the brand's fan. Like Chanel, I don't remember anything they released in last few years. So we just keep going back to our Chanel Allure line or Bleu de Chanel, and then Dior, we just keep going to Sauvage or some of the other Diors, like Dior Homme Intense. So Dior already has established their name. They have the Fahrenheit line, Dior Homme line, Dune, underrated gem, and a few of the other ones, this energy, higher energy. So basically, Dior's Higher, I actually like the bottle a lot. I had a white bottle, which is discontinued, that bottle, but they have more transparent bottles nowadays, like this one or so. And these are fragrances people do not really talk about, so there are some reviews on it, but these are less talked about. Dior's underrated. Dior's Dune and this one are underrated. So there are many others like from Dior house, but they are not in the shelf that Dior is selling. So let's see what you get. This has mixed sort of like reviews on Fragrantica and YouTube. Some people love it, some people really love it, and some people actually feel like, it's not really that long lasting or whatever. So I have purchased this box, 100 ml size. I think a little bit over 50 ml, or exactly 50 ml from my brother, and I got it for about $60, $65, around that price range, or a little bit less perhaps. But this current moment, I try to buy this from other shops here. I'm not gonna say which shop. They have it, and they ask for almost $180 for the brand new 100 ml. Okay, and I was a bit shocked. I know Dior and Chanel are expensive, but the price have really gone crazy in the market right now due to inflation and dollars currency rate, and the import tax, everything. The petrol prices have gone high. So I was never gonna buy this for that price range. Even Chanel, Bleu de Chanel, I would not buy. But I'm thinking to buy, one fragrance. I am thinking like Bleu de Chanel Perfume. Perhaps I'll get it. I'm talking too much. I'm sorry. I'm just in a good mood. So this is that box. And it's a very plain, simple box. It just, apart from the Dior, everything else, if you see it for the first time from far, if there's no Dior written, you'd be imagining like this is a Kenneth Cole fragrance or something like it. I'm just saying, like people's perception. And this is not very tough built, like, okay. And the bottle, some people say this bottle is not Dior quality because of the flimsy cap, and the bottle is very plain looking. So this is okay, nothing crazy going on here. It reminds me a little of Platinum Egoist, the older Platinum Egoist bottles. They had this shape, and the bottle has a little bit of design here, and it says CD, okay. And the base looks like that. There's gonna be a sticker. Juice color is kind of like a green yellowish. It says Dior's Energy, Higher Energy, sorry. And the cap, the brother I bought it from, he said, do not hold it by the cap because cap doesn't have a very good grip or clicking, So and I do feel it's a bit, you hear the sound and it comes out very easy. So yeah, the cap quality also not that great. It's okay. It's plasticky and then chrome look, but it's kind of like very light. And then Atomizer. It reminds me also of Guerlain's, Lance and Guerlain, these new bottles. So Atomizer is okay. So let's put some of it on and talk about it. I'll tell you one thing. I don't want to waste the juice anymore. If you couldn't catch it, sprayer on these definitely keeps the legacy of Dior. Amazing sprayer. Okay, let's just show for one waste one spray for the community. Check that out. That's a great sprayer. So that's that. So this is a 2003 release, if I'm not mistaken. It's almost 19 years, and I think it has been in the market when some of the CK fragrance were doing good. You know, back in the days, Eternity, CK1, CK Escape, Aqua Digios. You know, that era. This was from there. So I'm going to review it. I would say fairly. Not gonna compare this with current new releases. I'm gonna say good stuff and bad stuff about this fragrance, like positive and negative. So let's talk about the negatives. First of all, Dior's price that you're gonna pay. Dior is not gonna be cheap. Okay. Some of the Dior fragrances I saw, like some of the older ones, like Poison Line, some of the other ones could be had for $70 or less. Like they were a bit cheaper. Nowadays, no Dior fragrances is under $100. Everything is 150, 130, like that. So this is beat on the higher side of the price. Given the bottle design, I don't think it justifies only the brand name you're paying for. So some people may have an issue with it. Fair, okay? That first negative or criticism. Second one, as I told you, the cap bit flimsy and doesn't really lock. I don't know if the other bottles were better, but this one doesn't lock into properly in the place. But bottle also looks like simple. I have no problem with it, but it looks like more like a budget $30, $40 bottle. It's okay, but the sprayer, good. So another thing, perhaps criticism, last one would say, performance. Many people did say this in Fragrantica. It's not a beast mode fragrance, and I'll tell you why it's not an issue for me. Okay, so that's where criticism ends. This one opens up very fresh green. When I smell this, it's very uplifting. It has this citrus, zingy vibe. At the same time, green, kind of has that mint. And I think, I don't remember all the notes, but I'll tell you, I don't get all those notes from this perfume, but I'll tell you what they say in Fragrantica. Yeah, juniper berries, pineapple, grapefruit, melon, and mint. Very refreshing, fruity opening. As you can see, the juniper. Yeah, I was trying to remember the juniper one. Very cold, like gin and tonic, that sort of vibe. And then middle notes, it gets pepper, nutmeg, and incense. And base notes are cedar, vetiver, oak moss, sandalwood, musk, and labdanum. So this one, let me tell you, I don't get all the smoke at the center or the heart, but it warms a little bit. It warms up a little bit. It's a little bit of a cooling opening. Then it spices up your skin a little bit. You know, I'll tell you what I'm thinking. You know, this fragrance I just mentioned, Platinum Egoist, my bottle is, you know, like I have some juice left in this one, but this is definitely not a vintage bottle. But you'll see the similarity between these two bottles. You see, okay, they are like brothers. Oh man, let me hold it. I hope I don't drop them. See, they have similarities, right? So what I get from Platinum Egoist, I compare this for some reason with Greenish Tweed minus the, you know, there's something about this. It's like green, okay? And they say Fierce, Abercrombie & Fitch Fierce. This is the more niche version of that, Montblanc Legend. So it has a green, fresh, purple vibe. And it has a metallic tone, which cools you down in warmer days. And cooling days, it warms you up. And then warmer days, it cools you down. That sort of property. This one, I tell you, Dior's High Energy, I would not wear this in colder months. It will absolutely have no smell. Okay, this is built for summer and spring. See, on my skin, I'm getting a little bit of here where I sprayed. I'm getting a little bit of a burning sensation, not in a bad way, because of the spices and then the way the nature of this perfume is. So it's giving me 3 dimension. The citruses, the green at the same time. It's kind of like a peppery, spicy sensation, which is fantastic. So some people say it's a mix of CK Eternity, CK Escape, and perhaps Platinum Egoist. It's a mix of those 3. And I can tell you one thing, it does remind me of CK Escape a lot, you know. So the CK Escape I did review long time back. Definitely a nice smell, but there's no pineapple in this. I did not detect any pineapple. Perhaps the grapefruit, okay. So the citruses and the sweet fruits disappear quickly, and what you are remained with is that perhaps the mint, a little bit of pepper and vetiver, green. Okay, so a little bit of grassy vibe. So if you like fragrances like CK Eternity, 212 by Carolina Herrera, you know, not as spicy as that, but this one definitely has that vibe. So very classy wearing, and this is for men of 35 and plus. 35 and above. Okay, 30 and above. Those are the men can rock this with a suit, very high class. And one lady wrote, "I love this smell on me. I love wearing this, and I think this actually is a pretty unisex offering. I can wear this easily." Pretty spot on, right? So it's not a unisex fruity perfume, but some people say they didn't get any fruity vibe. So you see, I said no pineapple I get. Yeah, I don't mean any pineapple, but CK Escape has a lot of fruity notes like a banana, tropical fruit. This one has some, but it's more mint dominant. So some people will like it. Some people, the youngsters, will definitely say this is a bit dated. It's a bit smelling like my father, like Azaros Chrome at this point. Many people say it's a more masculine fragrance. Back in the days, Azaros Chrome was worn by teenagers. So those teenagers have grown up now, and they are wearing something like this. They're still rocking Chrome, Aqua di Gios, but those were youthful scent back in the days. You see, I'm trying to make some sense. So Dior's High Energy, definitely not their best work. I'll tell you, plain and simple, this is not the best Dior fragrance, nowhere near. Perhaps if you start from the bottom, perhaps it will be like 1 to 2 notch up. But for Dior quality, they did maintain some of the qualities with like the sprayer, and the composition itself is very, very nice. But the performance and longevity, if you pay that kind of Dior prices, it may disappoint you. I tried 2-3 days, I think 2 days, yeah. Never really popped up. Even when I go out, skin warms up. Maybe in time I'll detect it more, but it remains like a EDC fashion perfume. So for this kind of quality, it should have been like $45 to $50 cologne, but just because it's Dior, it's gonna cost you a lot of money. So in that way, I cannot say, unless you get a deal, half bottle, partial bottle, or something like it, good price, I would not recommend you to pull the trigger on this. Perhaps get a CK Escape and CK Eternity both together. Even if you get 200 ml, they're going to be cheaper than this. Okay, so in that way, it's not a full bottle worthy fragrance if you're paying that price. But apart from that, it's a nice perfume. It's a fragrance you can give it to your husband, like, you can purchase it from Dior, and you have like a 10th anniversary, you give it to him, he's going to be very, very happy. And this is going to be good for office, summer days, warm weather. It's really easy wear. It's very uplifting. And I think there's a little bit of sweetness, which makes it kind of like a balance with those peppery, green vetiver. I think you can just say some sort of fruits are there, but it's not as sweet. It's more fresh, green, spicy, and a little bit cooling fragrance. Okay, so Dior's High Energy is underrated one, but not Dior's best work. Despite that, it has quality. Okay, give it a try. Overall, this fragrance, I'm going to rate it 7.5 out of 10 because of the sheer smell. Bottle presentation, not impressive. Price is too expensive, and longevity is not like through the roof. So I get about 2 to 3 hours. That's about it. After second hour mark, it's already like far dry down, right? So at least on our condition, humid conditions. So check it out, Dior's High Energy. If you like the smell, you can go for it if money is not an issue. So there you go, Dior's High Energy. I think it's a nice little release, but it will be remembered by whoever loved it, but it can be pretty forgettable for people who smelled it right now for the first time, and it doesn't smell modern or relevant anymore. But for memory's sake, when people are wearing Clinique Sappy for Men, some of the Chrome, Aqua di Gios, they will like this. Have a nice day. Thanks for watching. I think I'll go upload this. Take care.